Ephemeral. Ephemeral is one of those sneaky Itachi moves where he doesn't even need full-on eye contact. He literally just uses his finger as the trigger to drop you into a Genjutsu. That's already insanely broken. When he pulled this on Naruto, it was wild. First, a whole murder of crows exploded out from Itachi, and then they straight up morphed into shuriken after he flashed the ram seal. Those shuriken rained down on Naruto like crazy, while Itachi tried to knock him out cold with a sleep command. But Naruto being Naruto, he fought back against it. That's when Itachi dialed it up a notch. Naruto suddenly felt his own body parts turning into his closest friends, yeah, super creepy, and those friends started mentally torturing him. This extra nightmare sequence is implied to be another stage of the Genjutsu that kicks in after Itachi does the ram seal. Same goes with how he uses the shuriken inside the illusion. It's all part of the layered mind games. Demonic Illusion, Mirage Crow. Demonic Illusion Mirage Crow is another one of those terrifying Itachi-style Genjutsu that hits way too hard. You don't even need direct eye contact to get trapped. Though yeah, eye contact can still boost it if the user wants. Once it's cast, the Genjutsu floods the battlefield with a swarm of crows, like an endless black wave. The victim is locked inside that illusion, totally at the mercy of the caster, and with the sheer volume of crows coming at you, it feels absolutely overwhelming, making it nearly impossible to fight back. Itachi actually cast this Genjutsu on Naruto, and even though Naruto was super cautious after already getting caught in one of Itachi's illusions, he still got snagged. He couldn't escape it at all. And you know what? This technique only requires a basic sharingan. It's definitely an effective Genjutsu, but in Itachi's massive arsenal, this one is only considered mid-tier. Izanagi. Izanagi is one of the most overpowered and forbidden Uchiha techniques ever created. A Genjutsu so extreme, it doesn't just manipulate perception, it reconstructs reality itself. While most illusions only trick the senses, Izanagi lets the user literally decide what's real and what's not. For a short period, any damage, injury, or even death becomes just an illusion, allowing the user to rewrite their own fate. If they're fatally wounded, their body simply fades away and reappears unscathed, as if the event never happened. The technique's origin traces back to the Sage of Six Paths, who used yin release to imagine form and yang release to give that form life. The Uchiha, inheriting the sage's yin power, learned to use their sharingan to replicate a fraction of that divine creation ability. But this godlike power comes with a brutal price. Once Izanagi is used, the eye that casts it goes permanently blind. Since the Uchiha revered their eyes above all else, this trade-off made Izanagi a taboo among their clan. Only those with both Uchiha and Senju DNA can extend its duration. The Uchiha possess only the sage's yin half, limiting Izanagi to mere seconds. Danzo Shimura, a non-Uchiha who stole multiple sharingan and infused himself with Senju cells, extended it to about 1 minute per eye, even implanting 10 sharingan into his arm to chain 10 minutes of Izanagi in combat. Obito, thanks to his controlled Senju cells, sustained the technique far longer. And Madara Uchiha, ever the strategist, pre-programmed Izanagi to auto-trigger upon death, reviving himself after his apparent defeat. While the jutsu doesn't require Mangekyo Sharingan, its misuse devastated the Uchiha clan, leaving many blind and powerless. To stop this abuse, the clan created Izanami, a counterpart genjutsu designed to trap and punish those who overused Izanagi's godlike powers. Izanami. Izanami is one of the Uchiha clan's most complex and symbolic dojutsu. Not a weapon of destruction, but a tool of judgment and self-reflection. Like its counterpart Izanagi, it sacrifices a Sharingan eye, rendering it permanently blind. Yet while Izanagi rewrites fate, Izanami enforces it. The technique works by recording the physical sensations and experiences shared between the caster and the target. When the user deliberately recreates those sensations, Izanami links the two moments, trapping the victim in an endless time loop of repeating actions and emotions. The target's body becomes frozen while their consciousness relives the same events endlessly. No matter what they attempt, the illusion adapts, forcing them to experience the same outcome until they accept reality. Unlike ordinary Genjutsu, Izanami cannot be broken by brute force or chakra control. The only escape is spiritual acceptance, recognizing one's mistakes and choosing to change. In the anime, Kabuto's entrapment under Itachi's Izanami showed this perfectly. Even with near-perfect chakra control, he remained trapped until he accepted his flaws and true identity. Izanami was created after the Uchiha began abusing Izanagi to escape consequences, reshaping reality for personal gain. To stop this corruption, the clan developed Izanami as a countermeasure, a punishment that forces users to confront truth rather than run from it. It's not meant for enemies, but for saving the misguided. A forbidden genjutsu that teaches humility, reminding even gods of their limits. The exit to Izanami is always open. The only key is acceptance. Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi is one of the most terrifying and iconic Mangekyo Sharingan abilities, mastered exclusively by Itachi Uchiha. With just a glance, Itachi traps his target in a completely controlled illusionary world, a realm he shapes and manipulates at will. What makes Tsukuyomi truly horrifying is its manipulation of time. A few seconds in the real world can feel like days or even years inside the illusion, where Itachi can inflict endless psychological torment or force victims to relive their worst memories. Visually represented by a red moon and gray inverted tones, Tsukuyomi embodies pure mental suffering. Because of its overwhelming speed and precision, ordinary genjutsu counters are useless. However, its drawback is heavy. The technique drains Itachi's chakra immensely and rapidly deteriorates his eyesight. Even elite shinobi like Kakashi Hatake were left comatose after just one encounter. Few have ever resisted it. Sasuke, during their final battle, managed to break free using his cursed seal power, though many believe Itachi deliberately weakened the illusion to test his brother. In the novels, Tsukuyomi's distortion ratio is described as 1/1,000,000th of real time. So intense that Itachi once gave Izumi Uchiha an entire lifetime of peace within seconds, letting her die smiling. It's beauty and horror in one jutsu. Demonic Illusion, Shackling Stakes. Demonic Illusion Shackling Stakes is one of the most ruthless Sharingan Genjutsu ever created, designed to completely immobilize and mentally break its target. Activated through Genjutsu Sharingan, the technique traps the opponent inside a nightmarish illusion crafted by the user. Once caught, the victim experiences the horrifying sensation of giant metal stakes impaling their body, locking them in place while waves of pain flood their senses. The agony feels completely real, stripping away their will to fight or even think clearly. What makes this jutsu terrifying isn't just the illusion, it's the absolute control it gives the caster. The victim can't move, can't resist, and every attempt to struggle only deepens their torment. Itachi Uchiha famously used this technique against Orochimaru, who tried to steal his eyes. Coercion Sharingan. Coercion Sharingan is one of the most intimidating genjutsu techniques activated through a single glance of the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. It instantly overwhelms the target's mind, forcing them to their knees under unbearable psychological pressure. The illusion doesn't just stun, it crushes the victim's will, leaving them frozen and barely able to move. We first see Sasuke Uchiha use this against Sai, instantly breaking through his emotional walls and proving the sheer dominance of the Sharingan. Historically, this ability dates back to Indra Otsutsuki, the first known wielder of the Sharingan, and was commonly used within the Uchiha clan to suppress enemies or assert control in battle. Even Tobirama Senju, while fighting Izuna Uchiha, reportedly closed his eyes mid-fight to avoid falling under its influence. Though it's not as complex as Mangekyo-level illusions, Coercion Sharingan remains one of the most practical and terrifying tools for creating openings, overpowering opponents, and asserting total battlefield dominance. Genjutsu Sharingan. Genjutsu Sharingan is the foundational illusion technique of the Uchiha clan, the ultimate expression of how terrifying visual jutsu can be. With a single look, the user manipulates the target's chakra flow and nervous system, instantly trapping them in an illusion. Once caught, the victim can be paralyzed, knocked unconscious, have their memories rewritten or erased, or even be forced into total mind control. Almost every eye-based illusion, from basic Sharingan hypnosis to Mangekyo-level nightmares like Tsukuyomi, falls under this category. Sasuke used it to distort Danzo's sense of time, while Itachi layered multiple genjutsu simultaneously to completely dominate opponents. Even more terrifying, Obito weaponized it on a national scale, controlling the 4th Mizukage and the Three Tails for years without direct contact. The Sharingan's genjutsu can even override machines. Mecha Naruto fell victim despite lacking a nervous system. That's why the Uchiha name alone commanded fear. With just their eyes, they could subjugate humans, monsters, and even gods, redefining what genjutsu really meant. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for the amazing support and for being part of this journey. Every like, share, and subscribe means the world and keeps us motivated to bring you even more awesome videos. Stay tuned, we're just getting started.